Flexion. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. The real test of strength isn't how loud you can shout, how fast you can react, or how many people you can out-argue. Flexion. The real test is how well you can keep your spirit steady when life shakes you. See, anybody can look powerful when things are going their way. Reflection. But true power, true respect belongs to the one who stays calm in the middle of the storm. Life is going to throw fire your way. People will test you, disappoint you. Reflection. And sometimes betray you. You can't control what they do, but you can control what you do next. The moment you let anger, jealousy, or pride take over, you hand them your power. Reflection. You let emotion drive your decisions, and that's when respect walks right out the door. People respect discipline. They respect composure. When you can stay grounded in chaos. Flexion. When you respond with calm instead of rage, that's when the world starts to notice. That's when your silence becomes louder than someone else's shouting. You see, reflection, emotion is energy, but when it's undirected, it's destruction. Control that emotion and it becomes fuel. Fuel for focus, fuel for clarity, fuel for greatness. Reflection. Never forget, you don't prove your strength by exploding. You prove it by enduring. You prove it by standing tall when everything inside you wants to break. Reflection, because emotional control is not weakness, it's mastery. It's a sign that you've grown beyond ego and learned to walk with wisdom. So if you want respect in your home, at your job, reflection in your community, don't just build muscles, build temperance. Don't just chase success, chase self-command. Because people don't follow the loudest one in the room. Reflection, they follow the one who leads with presence, peace, and power. Emotional control defines true strength because it separates the mature from the impulsive, the leader from the follower. Reflection, and the wise from the reckless. It's easy to lose your temper when things go wrong. It's easy to slam doors, raise your voice, or throw blame when life doesn't go your way. Reflection. But those actions don't make you strong. They make you a slave to your emotions. Real strength is quiet. It's calm. It's steady. Reflection. It's the power to keep your heart still when everything around you is trying to make it race. It's the ability to look someone in the eye who's trying to bring you down and say nothing. Reflection. Because you know your peace is worth more than any argument. When you learn to control your emotions, you stop reacting to the world and start directing it. Reflection. You no longer live at the mercy of your feelings. You guide them, you manage them, you own them. You start to see that anger doesn't solve, it destroys. That fear doesn't protect. Reflection. It limits. That sadness doesn't harm, it refines you. Emotional strength doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you feel deeply, but you choose wisely. You decide when to speak. Reflection, when to walk away, when to stand firm, and when to let go. That level of control takes courage because it requires you to go against your impulses. Reflection, to silence the noise inside you and think with clarity when the world expects chaos. There is this kind of power that comes from patience, a kind of respect that only self-control can earn. Reflection, people begin to see that you are not easily shaken, that your mood doesn't depend on circumstances, and your peace isn't for sale. You become the calm in other people's storms. Reflection, the steady voice in the middle of confusion. And that's when you start to stand out. Not because you shouted the loudest, but because you stayed the strongest. Reflection, emotional control gives you presence. It makes people look at you differently. They trust you more, they value your words more, and they see a depth in you that only comes from mastery over self. Reflection, that is the mark of true strength. Not how hard you hit, but how well you hold yourself when life hits you. Reflection, reactions reveal character because every moment of pressure exposes who we truly are beneath the surface. It's easy to act kind, calm, and confident when everything goes according to plan. Reflection. But when life throws unexpected punches, that's when your true nature steps out. The way you respond to anger, insult, or disappointment tells the world how much control you have over yourself. Reflection. Some people let emotions take the driver's seat, turning minor problems into major explosions, burning bridges they'll later wish they could cross again. Others breathe, pause, reflection, and choose restraint, showing that they value growth over ego. That difference, that small moment between reaction and response, defines the level of maturity a person carries within. Reflection. When you lash out, people don't remember your reason. They remember your reaction. They remember the tone of your voice, the words you used, and the energy you gave off. Reflection. That single reaction can build or break the respect you've worked years to earn. The truth is, reflection. Character isn't proven when everything feels right. It's proven when you have every reason to lose control, but still choose grace. Reflection, that calmness in the face of provocation tells everyone that your emotions don't own you, you own them. When you stay composed in conflict, You earn a reputation for wisdom. Reflection. People start to look at you differently as someone dependable, stable, and grounded. They see that you think before you act, that you weigh your words before you speak. Reflection. And that you're not easily provoked into foolishness. The world tests you every day. Rude comments, unfair treatment, unexpected losses. Each test asks the same question. Reflection. Who are you when things don't go your way? If your reactions are wild, impulsive, and emotional, people will see immaturity, not strength. But when you handle pain with patience, reflection, frustration with focus, and criticism with calm, people recognize integrity. They know they can trust your word because it's not controlled by mood. Reflection, they know they can follow your lead because you won't crumble under pressure. Every reaction is a mirror reflecting your inner discipline. And when that reflection shows calmness, respect, reflection, and restraint, it speaks louder than any words could ever do. Reflection, that's how reactions reveal character. They tell the world whether you've mastered yourself or if you're still fighting your emotions for control. Reflection, respect is built on composure because people naturally gravitate toward those who carry peace within themselves. In a world filled with noise, anger, and chaos, reflection, calmness has become a rare form of power. The person who can stay composed when others are losing control instantly commands attention without saying a word. Reflection, when you walk into a room with confidence, patience, and emotional balance, you don't have to demand respect. It's given to you automatically. Reflection. People feel safe around those who don't let their emotions rule their actions. They trust the one who can listen before reacting, observe before judging. Reflection, and respond with clarity instead of confusion. That kind of composure shows emotional maturity, and emotional maturity is the foundation upon which all lasting respect is built. Reflection. When you lose control of your emotions, you lose control of your image. Every time you overact, shout, or let frustration dictate your behavior, you chip away at the respect others have for you. Reflection. People start to see you as unpredictable, unstable, and untrustworthy. But when you remain calm, even under pressure, you send a message that you are not swayed by chaos. Reflection, that you have mastered the storm within. Composure is not silence, it's strength in motion. It's the art of standing still when the world expects you to explode. Reflection. It's showing that you can carry power without needing to prove it. And the more you practice it, the more people begin to rely on you as a pillar of steadiness in a shaky world. Reflection. Respect follows composure because composure reflects discipline. You earn respect not by being the loudest, but by being the most centered. Reflection. People listen to your voice because it carries weight, not from volume, but from calm conviction. They see that you don't let emotions cloud your judgment. Reflection. And that you can handle difficult situations with grace and wisdom. Leaders, teachers, and those who inspire all share this one trait, composure. Reflection, it's what keeps their integrity intact and their influence growing. Because respect isn't about fear, it's about admiration, reflection, and people admire the one who keeps their balance when everyone else is falling apart. When you learn to hold your peace in moments of chaos, you rise above the noise. Reflection. You don't chase respect, you embody it, and the world can't help but notice. Uncontrolled emotion destroys progress because when you allow feelings to take command, reason disappears, reflection and chaos takes its place. Every great downfall, whether in relationships, careers, or personal dreams, begins when emotion overrides judgment. Reflection. Anger makes you say things you can't take back. Pride makes you make choices that hurt you later. Jealousy blinds you to your blessings. Reflection. And fear freezes you in place when you should be moving forward. Emotion is powerful, but when it's not managed, it becomes destructive. It clouds your vision, poisons your peace. Reflection. And pulls you away from logic. You may think you're fighting for yourself in those heated moments, but in truth, you're fighting against your own growth. Reflection. When you can't control your emotions, every situation becomes a battle. Every criticism feels like an attack. Every setback feels like failure. And every disagreement turns into a war. Reflection. That mindset drains your energy and destroys your focus. You start reacting instead of responding, defending instead of understanding, and breaking connections that could have helped you grow. Reflection. People distance themselves from emotional chaos. They stop listening to you, stop trusting your words, and start questioning your reliability. No matter how talented or intelligent you are, reflection, if your emotions are unstable, your foundation will always be weak. Reflection. The most successful people in life are not those who never feel emotion. It's those who know when to express it and when to hold it back. Every time you lose control, you delay your progress. Reflection. The moments spent recovering from an emotional outburst could have been spent moving forward. The bridges burned in anger could have led you to opportunity. Reflection. The words spoken in haste could have built understanding instead of walls. You can't build a future on broken reactions. Discipline is what creates direction, flexion, and direction only survives when emotion is tamed. When you master your emotions, you can face failure with patience, pain with perspective, and success with humility, reflection. But if you let emotion rule your decisions, you'll keep repeating the same mistakes, blaming circumstances instead of realizing the real enemy was within. Flexion. True progress only begins when you learn to quiet the storms inside, because only then can you see clearly enough to walk the path ahead. Reflection. Controlled emotion becomes fuel for success, because when you learn to direct your feelings instead of being driven by them, every emotion becomes a source of power. Reflection. Anger can turn into determination, fear can turn into focus, and pain can turn into purpose. The difference lies in control. Reflection. People who master their emotions know how to channel what they feel into what they do. They don't waste time reacting to what happens. They use that same energy to build, improve, and rise. Flexion. When someone insults them, they don't fight back with words, they fight back with results. When life knocks them down, reflection, they don't complain, they let the pain ignite a deeper hunger to succeed. Emotion, when harnessed correctly, becomes the fuel that drives perseverance and turns pressure into performance. Flexion. Every great achievement has emotion behind it, but it's not the emotion of rage or despair, it's the emotion of purpose and control. When you learn to stay calm, your mind stays clear, reflection, and in that clarity, you make better choices. Success doesn't come from talent alone, it comes from discipline, and discipline is born from emotional control. Flexion. The person who can stay focused when others panic, who can keep working while others are quitting, who can remain humble even after winning. That's the person who keeps climbing. Flexion. Controlled emotion sharpens your instincts and gives you the patience to endure the process, because you no longer let temporary feelings dictate permanent decisions. Reflection. When you channel your emotions, you turn what could have been weakness into strength. You begin to use setbacks as motivation and criticism as a mirror for growth. Flexion. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to rise higher, because you are no longer fighting your emotions. You are fueled by them. The fire inside you becomes your engine, not your enemy. Flexion. People who master this balance don't chase success, they attract it, because their energy is steady, their actions are consistent, and their focus is unshakable. Reflection. Emotional control transforms chaos into creativity, confusion into clarity, and pain into power. Flexion. It makes you unstoppable, because you are no longer reacting to life. You are driving it forward with intention, purpose, and unbreakable will. Flexion. Mastering emotions is mastering life, because every decision, every relationship, and every moment of peace or chaos depends on how well you handle what you feel. Reflection. Life will never stop testing you. People will provoke you, circumstances will frustrate you, and unexpected pain will come your way. Reflection. But your ability to control how you respond determines the quality of your life. When emotions rule you, you live like a passenger, constantly being thrown around by whatever happens next. Flexion. But when you learn to rule your emotions, you become the driver, calm, focused, and in control of your direction. That's when you stop living on impulse and start living with intention. Reflection. True mastery begins not when you control others, but when you control yourself. When you master your emotions, peace becomes your natural state. Reflection. You no longer allow anger to steal your happiness or fear to stop your progress. You can face criticism without losing confidence. Reflection. And you can experience pain without letting it poison your spirit. Emotional mastery gives you balance, and balance gives you power. You begin to see clearly even in chaos. Reflection. You start making decisions based on wisdom, not weakness, on purpose, not pressure. The world respects people who are centered, because centered people are reliable. They don't break easily. Reflection. They don't panic quickly, and they don't give up silently. They move through storms with calm hearts and clear minds. The truth is, emotional control is freedom. Reflection. When you're not a prisoner of your reactions, you can choose peace over conflict, growth over ego, and patience over rage. You stop letting temporary emotions make permanent damage. Reflection. You no longer allow others to pull you out of character, because your stability is no longer dependent on them. It's built within you. Flexion. Mastering emotions means you've learned that peace is more valuable than proving a point, that calm is stronger than chaos, and that a controlled mind can achieve what a restless one never will. Flexion. When your emotions serve you instead of sabotage you, you stop surviving life and start mastering it. You move from being tossed by every wave to steering your own ship. Reflection. And that is when true respect, inner peace, and lasting success finally find you. So, my friends, remember this. The world doesn't respect the one who loses control. Flexion. It respects the one who stays in command. Life isn't about avoiding emotions, it's about mastering them. It's about standing tall when the storm rages. Flexion. keeping your mind steady when your heart is heavy, and responding with wisdom when others expect anger. You can't control what people do, flexion. You can't control what life throws your way, but you can always control you every time you choose calm over chaos, patience over pride, and strength over shouting, reflection. You rise a little higher. Respect isn't demanded. It's earned through consistency, through restraint, through quiet power. So the next time life tests your temper, reflection. Don't give it your reaction. Give it your composure. Let your peace be your proof, and let your control be your crown. Because the moment you master your emotions, reflection, you don't just gain respect, you gain yourself. And that right there is where real power begins.